What is up, guys? Today we are going to discuss a review of the Mage itself and a little tutorial on how you guys can unlock it if you haven't already figured it out. Alright, so the Mage is a very versatile, kind of squishy character on Risk of Rain 2, but with the potential of massive DPS output, especially, and this kind of goes with every character in the game, if you can get the, with any survivor, if you can get the right sequence of items, you can be pretty unstoppable. It seems to me, though, that the Mage is a little less gear dependent than a lot of the other characters. For instance, like the Mercenary really needs a certain sequence of items. The Huntress is kind of in the same boat as well. If you can't get the same sequence of survivability items on her, it can be pretty difficult, but if you can get really lucky and get some pretty solid survivability items, the Huntress is insane as well. But this is about the Mage itself. Now, the Mage's left click, it is you fire little fire bolts at the enemy. What they do, you have 4 charges. She fires them rapidly. They also have a chance to ignite, dealing a damage over time effect on the target, which is pretty sweet. The downside of the Mage that I would say right now that I'm seeing, and we'll go into things that we'll discuss that I would like to change or things that I would like to see different with the Mage, is there seems to be a bit of a downtime with her. Some items that really help with this, obviously, is like backup magazine. That really helps you out because it's going to allow you to continue your right click. Your right click is a charged ability, or can be a charged ability. You can instantly cast it. It fires a ball of lightning that, upon impact, if they're within the prism, it should stun your target. It does pretty big damage. You can see right there, it did 258. And as you charge it, it will do more. It has the ability to, if everything is lumped together, to just one-shot a bunch of the lesser mobs, just the regular, the little lizard guys and whatnot. I'm still kind of learning all the names. I didn't play Risk of Rain 1. I saw the trailer for this during the Borderlands 3 reveal, and I was like, this game looks awesome, and I played it, and I was very, very surprised. Now, I have a review video for the game itself coming out, but I'm saying it here now, too. I highly recommend this game. I'm recording this as of the 30th, so I don't know when this is going to be released, but as of now, they have a buy one, get one free on Steam, which is such a smart marketing technique. But besides all that, let's get back to the Mage. Now, her utility ability is her shift. She drops a wall of ice down. If an enemy passes through that wall, they will get frozen, and their health, if you can get them to within a quarter of their health while they are frozen, they'll instantly die. So it pretty much knocks off 25% of their health off the bat if you can burst them down enough before they get unfrozen. That is extremely relevant, but isn't the most relevant aspect of that spell. The most relevant aspect, obviously, is stopping people from getting to you. She doesn't have an escape, so movement speed items are very, very important for her. Being able to get out and get out quickly is important for her, as she doesn't have like a blink or the charge like the Mercenary has. She doesn't have anything like that. She doesn't have the roll, nothing. So the lack of that does kind of hurt her survivability, but it isn't a big deal. The ice wall is plenty good enough, and if you can stack together some AoE damage with some leeching seeds on her, her health regen is actually pretty insane and extremely relevant. As you can see here in this video, I was able to get the cube for her. The cube is nuts. The primordial cube is absolutely nuts on her, especially if you could start getting some will-o'-the-wisps. At this point in the video, I don't have will-o'-the-wisps, I have 2 right there. And I have ukulele. So Will-o'-the-Wisp is one of my favorite items. I don't know if anybody watching this played Diablo 3 back in the day when Critical Mass was still a build on the Wizard before they took it out because it was absolutely broken. But Will-o'-the-Wisp kind of gives me that Critical Mass kind of feeling. It really feels like that's what I'm playing. You know, one thing dies, it pops, everything around them starts getting hit, and then the ukulele is triggering and hitting everything, and you're just doing this massive damage. Now, to continue on with the abilities, and the last ability, which is her ultimate ability, it's Incinerate. It kind of works like a Disintegrate. Again, I'm using a Diablo 3 reference. She'll put her hands together and fire a flamethrower, flame move out of her hands that just damages everything. it's really solid. It's a melter. Her specialty is just boss melting, I would say. Multi, I would think is the best boss melter in the game, just because I believe that he might actually be broken. Multi, I think I can't imagine that multi, and I'll go into a multi review later as well. I can't imagine that multi is where they want him to be. He just seems insanely strong and just a little too much. He's able to kind of solo everything. I had a 90-minute run with multi without even breaking a sweat really and getting bad items. So besides multi, I would say that she is the best, and maybe after tuning multi, she may become the best. But running too many mages probably isn't very good because, like I said, they are item dependent. Where you kind of like the engineer, a lot of people they run the quad engineer stacks. I don't necessarily recommend that just because there isn't enough items to go around. There's so many bad items for her, as like the fungus that I just got there. You don't really want to stop moving with your mage. When you stop moving, you're probably going to die. So movement speed buffs, very important. As you can see here, I prioritized and took the energy drink. I just wanted to keep moving around because that's really where her strength lies. She moves around, does her damage, and then gets out and then pops some of those AoEs. The character itself is extremely fun and not hard to unlock. The one thing you have to do, and this is something that my friends and I, we figured it out by chance. When you see at the beginning of your level, and I'm kind of doubling back on, we're going to go into how to unlock her now. When it says a blue orb appears, this isn't new news, and a lot of people have already kind of looked into it and said, okay, how do I unlock this? This is for those that, obviously don't know. It's probably why you're here. An orb is going to be circling the teleporter. So upon defeating the final boss, you're going to be able to use your teleporter still, but there will also be a blue portal that appears. Now, every single time that we've seen this, the blue portal has appeared within 20 feet of the teleporter. It's not like it's far away. It's been right there at the teleporter doing what it needs to do, and you can press E to go into it. Now, a couple things that you need, and I'm going to show this at the end of a video of what it looks like. When you press E on the blue teleporter, it's going to take all your money. It's going to be just like you beat the level. It's after you're done in the area to unlock the mage, you will progress to the next level. Now keep in mind that you will need 10 lunar coins in order to unlock the mage. You have to buy the mage essentially. The mage is frozen in like a time. It doesn't look like ice. It might be ice, but it looks more like a time spell or something. You give that 10 lunar coins to this little salamander guy, and again I'll show all this at the end. And then you'll be able to unlock the mage. You'll get the achievement called Paused, and you will unlock the mage. So with that, you'll be able to leave the game and play the mage if you want to, or continue on with the run that you're currently doing. Now, if it says a blue orb appears at the beginning, like I was saying, at the beginning of your level, that means the portal is going to spawn for free. Now, if it does not say a blue orb appears, you can find a newt shrine, which are those little rocks that kind of, to me, they kind of look like they had a little hat on. I don't know if that's just me or if anybody else thought that too. They kind of look like a little, I don't know, like wizard hat. But you can give 1 lunar coin to those, and you can force a blue orb to appear. Now, obviously, that would mean you need 1 additional lunar coin, so you would need 11 to unlock the mage. But that might be an option in order for you guys to force a spawn. I've noticed that in the 3rd map, the ice map, there's a 100% spawn chance for the newt shrine, or at least maybe we're just extremely lucky. At this point, I have about 18 or 19 hours into the game. It was released 2 days ago, and I don't believe I've ever seen this newt spawn not spawn on the 3rd level. So I'll be sure to try to provide a screenshot of that for you guys later in this video. So I apologize if there is any background noise here. They're doing some gardening outside, but this is a map here. We're getting my buddy, his mage. He had 10 lunar crystals. We got very lucky and said a blue orb appears right on our first playthrough, first map. So we decided to farm it up, make sure that we just clear it. That's why it's 6.5 minutes. We just said, look, we're just going to go through. Here it is, blue portal. Now, like I said earlier, when you click E, it's going to essentially end the levels. You can't go to shrines anymore, can't open boxes anymore. It's going to take all your excess money, and it's going to take you to the bazaar. Now, for some reason, the recording software I took was lagging in here. I'm not entirely sure why, but this is a really cool spot. Now, after you unlock the mage, you still want to save your lunar crystals and buy the red items, which I don't go over, I believe, over there to the left. There's a box where you can buy red items for 2 lunar apiece. The mage is going to be right there. You're going to see him unlock it. Bugged on my screen. I didn't see her. But he went in there, gave his 10 lunar crystals, and unlocked it, and as you can see, he got the pause achievement. Now these items are pretty cool. If you have 3 of the same green items, you can buy, or I'm sorry, 3 of the same items, you can buy that transfusion. If you have 5 of the same items, you can buy this item too. Now my final thoughts on the mage. This is probably my second favorite character to play, but probably my favorite one to play if I really want to push further without exploiting multi, which is kind of, like I said earlier, is kind of broken. My favorite is probably still the Mercenary. The Mercenary is just so fun to play. I just wish he was had a little more survivability in the later rounds. He seems to kind of get chunked really easily. I mean, obviously he's a plain and simple DPS melee character, so he's going to have issues, you know, with certain bosses having to get in and having to be really careful about which bosses to engage, because some of them you got to look out for their big moves and just try to dodge that. And as I get more familiar with the game, I'm sure it'll become a little easier for me. I just have to continue to play and try to get better, just like everybody else. I'm in no means saying this is the end-all be-all or that I'm the best player to ever play this game. I'm still new. I'm very new, and these are just things that I'm learning and things I'm seeing, and I'm trying to help people out that may or may not have figured this stuff out on their own, or may have gone to a different tutorial and checked it out. But I'm just giving what I feel has worked for me the most so far. I have my longest run so far on the mage is 81 minutes, and on multi it's a 96-minute run. But I hope you guys did enjoy this. Some things I would like to see changed perhaps for this character. Maybe cut down on her downtime a little bit, because it seems like if you don't have backup magazines, your downtime is a little too crazy. Maybe nerf her left click a little bit so it does less damage. Still have the ignite chance, but remove the charges on it so she can sit there and spam them. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe even give it a range, at a maximum range, so you can't just spam from across the map. That might help. But other than that, thank you very much for checking out the video, and I will see you guys at the next one.